Well, I'm out here. I'm not making very good progress today. I keep stopping to take in this vista. We've got Three Sisters over there, Mount Washington, Three Finger Jack, and Mount Jefferson. Today I'm traveling via a new route up into an area I visited almost exactly a year ago. I did not camp on that trip, but I had found a campsite I've been dreaming of returning to ever since. Wow, I am stunned by how many people are out here. I really did not anticipate that. I know it's a nice weekend and restrictions are starting to lift, but I mean it's still mid-afternoon on a weekday. I thought that I might sort of beat people to the punch a little bit. I wonder if my campsite is going to be available. Last time I was up in this area was almost exactly a year ago, but I was out here on a weekday and there was nobody out here. But here it is, a lovely Friday, and I'm not going to be surprised if there's someone in my campsite. It definitely takes away some of that sense of being in the remote wilderness when you see people every 5 minutes. That looked like maybe it could have been interesting. This little spur caught my eye. This was not my planned campsite, but it looks like this could lead to something interesting. Yeah, it's a pretty nice site. It's not quite as nice as the one that I'm hoping to score, but we'll keep this in mind. I'll mark it on the Gaia. Yeah, this is it, but I think I see somebody out there. Yep, I see a hammock. I see a rig. Definitely someone out there. I wasn't looking for a campsite when I was out this way a year ago, but I was enchanted by this spot and had been hoping to finally camp here tonight. Dang, someone in my spot. I'm not surprised. There's another one right up here that I also found last time. I feel like it might be a little close to these people though. Check it out. Actually, this is a little further away from the other campsite than I remembered. Oh, this is very nice. This is absolutely as nice. Well, I'm not super fond of how close this is to the road and how visible it is from the road, but that is the view I was after. I love the panorama of this treeless canyon overlooked by rocky crags. Mount Hood is visible in the distance, along with the top of Mount Jefferson. The original planned campsite is off that direction, but I can't see those people at all. It's actually further up the road than I remembered. So that's good. I think this will be fine. That should be level enough for the kitchen. guess we're gonna find out how the Gazelle does in the wind. Ooh, it is windy. I am not underneath any big old trees or any dead limbs or anything like that. Just some young things, so I don't think we've got any widowmaker situations here. You can see some roads and stuff down in there. That's where I'm going to explore tomorrow and try and get closer to that rock over there. Maybe also closer to the river down there. There's lots of downed trees around here, but I don't think I'm going to really have to forage. There's some wood already right here in camp. The sun's gone down, the temperature's dropping, and I'm getting hungry, so let's get some dinner going. I'm making one of my camping standbys, which is quesadillas, but with a little bit of a different twist this time. Here I've got the shredded cheese pre-blended with some beans and some leftover rice, and I spiced it up with some red pepper flakes. I got this idea from Tristan of SUV RVing. We've got some pretty good breezes going, but the Camp Chef Mountaineer is not having any problem with it. When Tristan of SUV RVing made this, he had an actual recipe of some sort that involved, I think, some like taco spice packet, and he may have had some other ingredients in there. I just kind of made do with what I had. That's the danger with cowboy coffee. You gotta be careful not to boil it over. All right, I've got camp all broken down, the car is packed up, and we're about to head out into all of that out there. Let's go see what we find. So last night's campsite was somewhere up there on that ridge. You probably can't tell how uphill I'm looking there, but we're up in there somewhere. Well, definitely not getting up there with anything bigger than a motorcycle. So I think I might just try to hike up a bit and see if I can get up into the rocks a little bit. Well, it's really hard to determine scale sometimes at a distance. So there's where I was camped, right over there on that ridge. And there's that rock formation I was looking at from across the valley. It's quite an imposing cliff. From a distance it kind of looked like there were steps that you could maybe sort of work your way up, but it's way too sheer and much, much bigger than I thought. Well, clearly I'm not going to get up onto those rocks, but I'm kind of curious to see what the view is like. See if I hike a little bit further. Can anyone tell me what kind of scat that is? It's pretty big. There's my hand right next to it. It looks like it's got like hair in it. So I'm guessing a carnivore. Noise, making noise, making noise, making noise. I don't know if that was cougar scat. I'm gonna make noise in case it was, because I don't want to surprise any big cats. That was big cat scat. Well, this is really cool, but it's getting a little treacherous. Now there's kind of a cliff below me, and this steep slope is a little slippery. Ooh. I don't know, you think a cougar could bed down in there for the day? Oh, the only way further is to walk right past that cave. I don't want to startle a big cat. Well, back home, I'll have to see if I can plot that hike on Gaia and figure out how far I went and how much further I would have needed to go to get to the end of that rock. Well, I didn't get nearly as far along that as I thought I did. So there is the cave where I chickened out. I didn't want to walk past it in case there was a cougar in there. And it looked like it was just around the corner, was going to come up around where I was going to see like the view of the whole valley. But in fact, the rock goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. It was a long ways from that view. I was kind of hoping this road would connect to something else and get me further down into the canyon, but it dead ends there, so I'm having to backtrack for now. That right out there was going to be one of my backup campsites, but I see someone is in it, so I'm glad I didn't come out this way. Well, there, my friends, is the road I thought I was going to take. Okay, I admit I didn't prepare super well for this weekend. I had a really busy week at work, and so I'm sort of relying on memory and stuff that I had looked at a year ago, granted also with a year's less experience plotting these kind of trips out. So I had this vague sense that there were all these roads out here that would connect up, because it kind of looks like they do, at least in satellite pictures. So I think I'm going to get back out of here and go down some of the roads I saw yesterday that looked like they also dropped down towards the river from another direction. I'm just going a little further up this road because it looks like there's kind of some interesting little craggy rock formations in this. I don't know, would you call this a gulch? It's not really a canyon, it's not a gorge. I think it's what you call a gulch. route may take me out to where there might be some other interesting geological formations. So since that sort of turned into the theme of the day, I might as well go check this place out too. So I just stopped to ask these people if they minded if I stopped and flew my drone over by the rocks. Oh, and what did you just tell me? You guys watch my channel?
Yeah, dude, like all the time, man. I'm Jason.
Donald.
It's weird, I know.
Hey, Denise.
Denise, nice to meet you.
We watch your videos like all the time.
So this is Jason and Denise, and you have a YouTube channel also.
We do. It's called Coast to Cascadia.
Coast to Cascadia. Hello, Sam. This is Sam. And who's the kitty?
Izzy.
This is Izzy.
Izzy.
Come here, Iz.
Hello, Izzy. Izzy? Oh.
Yeah, she's very friendly.
Be sure to check out Coast to Cascadia. I'll put a link in the description below. Well, I didn't realize I was going to be above the rock formation, but it's really cool. You probably can't tell, but I believe it just sort of drops off the other side of that. But what's also pretty amazing here is, check out this view. I can just barely see Mount St. Helens in Washington, right there. Just barely. You gotta be kidding me. Well, this is totally impromptu exploring. So that road I took to get up to that rock formation pretty much dead-ended right where those people were camped. So I'm just going down some random other road and seeing where it goes. You cannot do this kind of exploring if you care about your paint job. Well, this is pretty nice. Well, I had barely spotted some rocks in the satellite photo, and it looked sort of insignificant, but worth checking out. But it's actually kind of nicer than I thought it was going to be. There's even like some kind of like chimney things down there. I had no idea I was going to stumble on this. Problem now is, it's only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not ready to make camp. I don't know. Can you see that? That is so beautiful. Well, even though it's a little early in the day, I decided to go ahead and stay here. It's just too nice of a sight not to go ahead and enjoy. Especially as the day sort of turned into geological formations, and there is a beauty right there. Plus that gorgeous view right there. My experience has generally been with sites that are on the edges of cliffs like this or the top of buttes tend to be the windiest. But man, it is calm up here today.
Damn it!
Here we are.
Sorry, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think you should have found a place with a view or something.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just have to give up and compromise.
Put up with it, man. It's LA.
I think it's time. Yeah, it's time. Well, ultimately, it's a good thing that I stopped and stayed here when I did. Between talking to various people who showed up, and getting firewood ready, and flying the drone a little bit, man, the afternoon just disappeared. So I'm just gonna relax and enjoy the view for a little while. Even though I'm surrounded by a somewhat normal forest, right here along this weather-beaten cliff, the trees are noticeably dwarfed and twisted. I've long had a fascination with the art of bonsai, the point of which being to replicate the gnarled, dwarf forms of trees growing in extreme conditions at high elevations. So I'm always struck by the real deal when I find it. Trees which are many years old and should be growing tall and straight, but which nature has formed into twisted, miniaturized versions. Well, no one can complain about cooking dinner when you get to cook in front of that. I haven't made any fire, it just hasn't cooled off that much. I'm sure once that sun goes down, the temperatures are going to drop. I think I'm at about 4,800 feet here, so it's pretty decent elevation.
About 6:30. It wasn't super cold last night, but it's definitely chilly enough in here that I don't feel like getting out of the sleeping bag to get dressed. So I reached over and turned on the heater, let it warm up in here. Just takes a couple of minutes of that thing running, and it is toasty warm and feels very comfortable to get out of bed.
I wasn't planning to do any exploring today, and I wasn't planning to shoot any video today after packing up camp. But I got a pretty early start, I'm not feeling rushed, and I've got quite a large swath of wilderness to get across. I may get distracted. I was just working my way back out on a different route from what I came in on. I noticed this little pathway that's like going up to a little rocky high point, and I'm pretty sure there's kind of a vista off just beyond those trees. So I'm just gonna walk out there and see. Now I know how my car feels. Too bad it's a little hazy. Probably would look a little nicer. There's the car way down there in Mount Jefferson again. You can just barely see the canyon that I was looking down at from the campsite a couple nights ago. This is interesting. So my goal was just to get out of the backcountry, get down to the highway and start working my way back home. But I saw a little side road that just looked a little too intriguing, and so I followed it, and all of a sudden here I am seeing my rocky ridge again. And so I'm just gonna see where this goes. Oh, well, that didn't last long. I bet if I look on the map later, there's that same piece of land where I ran into the gate yesterday. Bet you anything. I'm a little turned around, but that's got to be what that is. Well, I can see a little side road on the map that looks like it sort of goes up over a ridge and may cut off a couple of long dog legs. So we'll give it a try. It might be a more interesting route than this smooth gravel road. Yeah, it just gets worse and worse up the further up you go. It looks like no one's been up this road in years. That was the easy one. It's that really big one that I'm not looking forward to. No problem, little Forester. Definitely a spot back here I can turn around. just a fantastic weekend. Even though very little went according to plan, couldn't get my first original campsite, couldn't get down into some of the areas I thought I was going to get into, ended up camping in a completely different area than I planned on. Still, really a lot of fun. It was fun to explore and just get out there. It just goes to show you that you don't have to absolutely know exactly where it is that you're going. Get out into the national forest, explore some roads. There's campsites everywhere. You just gotta look for them. Back on pavement. You know what that means. Time to air up and head home.